In this video, we're going to learn to use the transform tools in the Floriani Creative Express software. In other words, we're going to learn to resize and flip and rotate and those kind of basic things that you need to do. And so I'm going to click on a new empty workspace to get started, and perhaps just look to my custom shapes library and select some sort of a shape and let that come onto my screen. And then I can maybe interact with my color palette and look for an appropriate color to color our banana. And so the first thing I wanted to show you is when I click off of the banana, nothing is selected. And when I click on the banana, I can see that this banana has been selected. And I can look in my sequence view and I can see that this is a piece of artwork. And I'm able to use this transformation selection box to first of all click and drag to move the position or location of that artwork within respect of our workspace. I also have the ability to go on a corner handle and interact with the size of the banana, and I can make it bigger or smaller by just dragging my mouse. And notice when I do that, notice the little white tooltip that kind of comes off of my mouse, and it's telling me interactively what size this is. And so as I bring it forward, it says you're currently, and if I wanted to make it exactly 5 inches tall, I would kind of move this until it got to that right there, 5 inches tall. And so that's one way to transform. Of course, you also have your properties box where you could come in and interact with the size by inches or millimeters. And I can tell it to either maintain the aspect ratio or not. And so if I uncheck that, then I'm able to say make it 5 inches tall, but make it exactly 4 inches wide. And I type that number in, I click apply, and it will keep the height the same, but decrease the width by however much that you determine. And so that's the properties box and how you can change the size from there. So then, yes, we have the ability to resize from within your selection, your transformation window. But we also have some interactive tools. So for example, here you have a flip. So that'll flip it horizontally, kind of back and forth. This one will flip it vertically, sort of back and forth, if you will. And these ones will rotate them either left or right, and it's like 90 degrees at a time. So I guess 4 clicks to go all the way around the circle. But basically that's like 90 degrees, and then 180 degrees, and then 270, and then you're back all the way around the circle again. So 4 clicks around a circle. If you wanted to do a rotation that was something not specifically 90, then what you can do is notice on the transformation window in the top right, there's a small blue circle. That circle is also for doing rotation, and when I click on that one, it will rotate around the center of your design by any number of degrees that you want. And so you can basically achieve any kind of rotation for your shapes that you want using the little blue tool on the transformation window. And so there are other icons when you've selected something and you have this transformation window. For example, I could lock this shape. So locking it would make it be sort of like unselectable, and it's no longer something that I can edit. If you want to get that back, you'll have to come over to the sequence view and click on the lock button to unlock that item again. And so that's what this is for. This one's for a right click, and that would be if you were working in a situation where maybe you didn't have a mouse that had a right click and you wanted to. This would basically give you the right click menu for your selection box. Whoops, I selected off, select back on again. This one here is a click link to edit the shape, and so it's no different than clicking on the edit shape tool. It simply unlocks the shape points that make up your little banana. Click back on your select tool again to see the rest of the options. This one is a copy tool, so now you can make a copy of a shape by simply selecting it, clicking on copy, and it offsets it to the side a little bit. This one's a zoom tool, and so if you're working on a large design and you select a specific shape and you click on the zoom tool, it will zoom right in over top of whatever it is that you have selected. And this last one on this corner here is actually a delete tool, and I can use that one to remove the object that I have selected. And so really there's quite a bit of control that's available when you select on an item. And one more thing that I'm going to point out is that notice when I have nothing selected, the items on this toolbar are basic items like select and create artwork or some basic shapes. However, if I select a shape, the contents of this toolbar change, and so we call that a dynamic toolbar that can bring you the best tools possible just the right time. So in other words, yes, there's flip, horizontal, and vertical are here on this toolbar, and they have a permanent home up top on the main toolbars. And so I just wanted to point out that that's where you'll find things like the fill tool for your artwork shapes as well on your dynamic floating toolbar. And so I hope you enjoyed that video and all of the videos learning to use the new Floriani Creative Express software.